Alright, testing, radio strength. Alright, we have radio strength. Subpart I, approval of the independent inspection agency cylinder requalifiers non-domestic chemical analysis test of dot specification cylinders. 107.801, purpose scope of subpart prescribe the perceive the person with the chief of the approval of the independent inspection agency to perform test inspection verification certification dot specification cylinders UN pressure receptacles required within part 178 180 of the chapter. Person who is seeking the approval of and gave the requalification inspection testing certification rebuilding and repairing cylinder manufactured the dot specification of the pressure receptacle for the UN standard under the subpart C of the chapter under the terms of the special permit issued under this part by the one or cylinder or tube manufactured according to the TCT, CTC, CRC, BTC specifications under the Transportation Canada Transportation Dangerous Goods Regulations IBR 171C 171.7 of the chapter. Alright, a person who makes the secret of the rule of the form manufacture chemical analysis test dot specifications cylinders special permit cylinders on UN pressure receptacles outside the United States. The only person and gave the functional identified paragraph of the section and left of the proof of the associated administrator in accordance with the provision of the subchapter. Subpart person must comply with the application requirements of the subpart with the additional procedure requirement of the subpart H for the part to apply for the filling of the process determination of the approval of the issue within subpart 107.803 approval of the independent inspection agency. General Prial performing cylinder inspection verification required in 107.180 of the chapter. The person may apply with the associate administrator of the approval of the independent inspection agency. Person approved of the independent inspection agency is not a PHMSA agent representative. Criteria: no application approval of the independent inspection agency may be engaged with the manufacturer cylinder for use of the transportation as material or directly and indirectly controlled by the having financial involvement in any of the manufacturer cylinder for use of the transportation has material to expect to provide service to the independent inspector. Application information: each of the application must submit the application form to 107.705 containing the information prescribed in 107.705. Additional application must contain the following information: name and address of each of the facilities tested for the inspection are to be performed. Detailed description inspection testing facility to be applicant. Determining description application qualification ability to perform an inspection verify the inspection performed in part 178 of this chapter. Under the terms of special permit issued under this part, name and address principal business activity each of the person having direct and indirect ownership interest of the applicant greater than 3% of any direct and indirect ownership of the interest of any subsidiary divisions for the applicant. Name of each of the individual whom the applicant is proposed to the employee of the inspector who will be responsible for the certifying inspection of the testing result statement of the person qualification, identification qualification number assignment to each of the inspectors, certifying inspector, and identifying part C5 of the section statement of the applicant the performance of the function of the independently manufacturer for the owner of the cylinder. If the applicant with the principal play for the business of the country other than the United States, associated administrator may approve the applicant of the basis of the approval of the issue of the competent authority of the country and manufacturer. The competent authority must maintain the current list of the independent independent inspection agency. Their identification mark of the application must provide the copy of the designation for the competent authority of the country delegating the applicant with the approval of the designated agency for the approval of the type of the packaging for which the dot UN designation is sought by the designated person certifying the approval of the application on the day of which the signed facility inspection upon the request of the associated administrator of the application must allow the associated administrator to design and inspect the application for facilities and record the permit certain seeking the approval must bear with the cost of the inspection. After the approval, associated administrator may authorize upon the request of an independent inspection agency to perform another inspection function for the associated administrator defined by the applicant of the qualified. Such additional authorization will be noted on the inspection approval documents. Alright, 107.805, approval of the cylinder pressure receptacle requalifiers. Generally, a person may meet the requirements section to approve the inspection testing certifying with the rebuilding certificate cylinder according to the specification UN pressure receptacle. Under subpart C of this part 178, one subpart C 180 of the chapter under the frame terms of the special permit issued for the part of TC, CTC, CRC, BTC certification, cylinder tube manufacturing accordance with the Transportation Dangerous Goods Regulation, IBR 171.7 of the chapter. The independent inspection agency review that each of the applicant must arrange the independent inspection agency approval of the associated administrator of the person with the subpart to perform review and inspection requalification operation. The person seeking the approval of the must bear with the cost of the inspection list of the approval of the independent inspection agency is available from the associated administrator of the draft of 107.705 of the system of the obtaining the approval is available to the same address. Application approval of the independent is inspection approval of the independent inspection agency complete with the satisfactory result of the applicant must submit the letter of the recommendation for the independent inspection agency. The inspection report of the application contain the information prescribed in 107.705. In addition, application must contain the name of the facility manager, type of the DOT spot, specification, special permanent cylinder, UN pressure for the receptacle or TC, CTC, CRC, BTC specifications cylinders tube will be in 6 tests, repair, rebuild the facility. A certification of the facility will operate in compliance with the applicable requirements of subchapter C of this chapter. Signature of the person marking the certification date of which was signed. Issuance of the requalifier identification number, the associated administrative the requalifier identification number, the evidence of the approval of the dot specification, special permit, or TC, CTC, CRC, BTC specification cylinders or tubes UN pressure receptacle is determined based on the applicant submission or other approval of information, but that the applicant qualifications were applicable to the facility of the adequate perform the requested function in accordance with the criteria prescribed in Subpart C of this Part 180 of the subchapter of transportation dangerous good regulations is applicable. Expiration of the RIN otherwise provided the issuance letter of approval expires 5 years after the date of the issuance, provided the applicable to facility the qualifications maintained above the level observed time of the inspection. Independent inspection agency, the time of the date, certification of the application for the approval of the requalifier only part forming inspection made within statute 18209G for the chapter exemption from the requirements of paragraph B and C for this section do not apply. A person who operates only performed the inspection according to the statute 18209G of the chapter provided the application containing the following edition with the information prescribed in 107.705 of the A, identify the dot specification and special permit for cylinders, the inspection certified the requalifier with the compliant with the applicable requirements subchapter C under the chapter certified by the person with the performing inspection that has been trained with the information contained and applicable CGA publication incorporated with the reference 171.7 of the chapter the applicable through the requalifier's activities include with the signature person bank with the certification date on which for the assignment that each person must comply with the applicable requirements of the subpart additional the procedure requirement the subpart 8 of the part apply with the filing processing termination of the issued under this subpart. A person holding the issued the RIN approval of requalification, inspection, testing, certifying, rebuild the dot specification cylinders, which is to perform any of these actions corresponding with the GCC, CTC, CRC, BTC cylinders tubes, may submit an application for the addition of the information prescribed in 107.705A, identify the TCC, TC, CTC, CRC, BTC specification cylinders tube, then inspect the certified qualifiers will operate compliant with the applicable transportation dangerous good regulation, certifying the provision performing person the requalification trained with the function applicable to requalifier activities, include signature of the person making the certification of the date on which they was signed, in addition with the procedural requirements of the subpart H part apply with the filing processing determination of the approval issued under the subpart. A person holding certificate registration issued in Transportation Canada according to the Transportation Dangerous Good Regulation perform the requalification, testing, certifying, repairing, rebuilding TC, CTC, CRC, BTC cylinders who perform any of these actions on corresponding dot specification cylinders. Each holder of the RIN report writing in any chamber the name of the address for the ownership of the testing equipment, the management of the person performing any of the function of the section associated administrator PAH 32 with the 20 day for the change. Alright, 107.807 approval of the non-domestic chemical analysis test. General, a person in the chief of the manufacturer job specifications specific permanent cylinders outside of the United States must meet the approval of the associated for the perform the chemical analysis test of the cylinders outside of the United States. The application from the approval that each of applicant must submit an application containing the information prescribed in 107.705. The additional application must contain the name and the draft description of the facility in which the cylinders are to be manufactured. Chemical analysis test to be performed. Complete details concerning the dimension, material, the control for the thickness, water capacity, shape, type of the joints, locations of the openings, and other pertinent physical characteristics. Each of the specifications, special permanent cylinders of which the approval is being required, including calculation of the cylinder wall, the test for the wall thickness, which may be shown with the drawing on or separate sheet with the description of the drawing. The name of the independent of the inspection agency with the certified analysis of the testing same of the agency indicating it's independent not owned cylinder manufacturer owner of the distributed the signature of the person with the certification the date of which was signed. Facility inspection either the request of the associated administrator applicant allowed the associated administrator instructor administratively designated inspect the applicant's cylinder manufacturing the testing facility recorded must be provided with the material cylinders for analysis and testing. Associated administrator may specify the applicant or the holder must bear the cost of the initial subsequent inspection, analysis, and test. Alright, 107.809, condition the UN pressure receptacle each approval is issued under the containment of the following condition. Upon the request of the associated administrator, the applicant or the holder must allow the associated administrator the design and inspection of the applicant pressure for the receptacle manufacturer testing facility can record must provide such the material pressure receptacles analysis test the associated administrator may set for the applicant holder must bear the cost of the initial or subsequent inspection analysis test. Each holder must comply with all the terms and conditions stated in the approval letter issued under the subpart. In addition, with the condition specified in the 107.713, approval may be denied or issued to suspend the termination with the competent authority of the country manufacturer failed to initiate and maintain a recognized independent inspection agency approval under the subpart failed to recognize the United standard packaging manufacturer. In accordance with this subpart chapter, that implement the condition and limitation of the United States citizen organization that is not required of its own citizenry. Or Appendix A, Part 107, Standard Operating Procedures for Special Permits and Approvals. And I don't do the appendixes because, but that concludes Part 107. Part 107, Hazardous Material Program Procedures.